Hello everyone, welcome back to Rose Gold Library. This is Jackie, and I'm super excited that you're here on my channel. So, this is my reading / media journal / whatever I content and consume. So, as you can guess by the stickers and probably by the title, this is about Black Butler. It's a series created by Yana Tabuso, and then it turned into an anime. And I absolutely loved it when I was like in middle school, but then I kind of stopped, and then I was like, you know what, I should get back into it. I was really obsessed with it when I was younger, but also now I will a little bit fast forward onto my thoughts. It's a lot darker than I remembered, so I was an edgy teen. So now, rewatching it, I get to see all the aesthetics and find it absolutely phenomenal. So, it was like slightly cheating in my own rules, but also I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to start my New Year's resolution to watch an old anime. And I did. I watched an old anime too up until its new entirety. Not its entirety, up until like the latest release. So, Black Butler, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna catch up. So, I did season 1 to 4. Technically, it's 1, 2, 3, then a couple movies, then 4. That's how it is on Crunchyroll. I use Crunchyroll because that is the anime site that I was mainly using on. And I mostly did everything in English dubbed. So if people are like, oh, you should watch it in sub, you should watch it in this, I wasn't doing all of that, let's be real. I had to cook and clean and stuff like that, so yeah. So let me talk about season 1, Black Butler, 2008. And there's some non-canon episodes within the season. So I started on December 29th, 2025. And I ended it on December 31st, 25. So it has 25 episodes, and I watched it all in English on Crunchyroll. My favorite episode is His Butler Chance Encounter, episode 5. The thoughts that I wrote down. Note, I mainly wrote down most of these thoughts in pencils, and then I did everything in pen as you see here on screen a little bit later, just to differentiate like the color schemes and all that. So my thoughts on season 1 is that now that I'm older, when I first watched it, it is amazing. I'm in awe. It is a lot more darker than I remember. CL is truly a child cosplaying as an adult in society. And Sebastian is a lot more snarky and petty than I remembered. It was truly a nostalgia. I now drink Earl Grey tea because of Black Butler. If there's ever a tea company that wants to send me Earl Grey tea, I will drink it happily. No sponsorship needed, I just need Earl Grey tea more. So, Black Butler Season 2, or Black Butler 2, from 2010. This is a not canon with OVAs, so which means it is original. It's not even part of the whole story. If you read the manga, you're gonna be like, what is this? And so it's 12 episodes and 6 OVAs. And my favorite episode was literally the Making of Black Butler 2 episode, which is the 3rd OVA. It is so funny. It is very snarky. It's very meta commentary, and it's so funny just to see the actors just having fun, like the actors pretending to be actors. Like CL is played by CL, who is just an actor who's just like super snarky regardless. And season 3, Black Butler Book of Circus, which was released in 2014. Oh, I should go back to season 2. Please note, I watched season 1 and season 2, starting on the 29th, all the way to the 1st. So I finished 2025. Season 2, I ended it, well, I started on the 31st, and I ended it on January 1st. So I was watching Black Butler literally through New Year's because I had nothing else to do. Season 3. Black Butler, Book of Circus, 2024. 2024. Ooh, it's been more than 10 years. 2014. His Butler Colleague, episode 4. I'm gonna be honest, animation-wise, beautiful. My first thoughts that I wrote down on paper, please, I want this to note, I forgot that Matt Mercer was Joker. In this series, it was really, like, for me, I was like, Matt Mercer, what are you doing here? I found that Ciel was terrified. Like, we hear more about his backstory. Traumatized. Absolutely, I'm traumatized. And the circus aesthetic, overall, it is fun, fantastical, whimsical, but also hiding a lot of darkness, which I just love the juxtaposition of the childlike innocence, and then the more you watch it, the more you're just, oh no, get me out of here. I don't like where the turn is taking, but also Ciel having to harden his heart after trying to get peace, and he will not know peace. The monologue at the end of the season, which is all over TikTok, if you look at a Black Butler edit, is very representative of the season, but also of himself, of the what is it all for, what am I even doing, what it is, the end goal overall. There's nothing. So that was that, and then I started it immediately following up with the movie, Book of the Atlantic. But I need to make a little caveat. So, Book of Murder's technically right after this. Book of Murder, apparently it's super hard to get if you're not from Japan. Or like you're not in the Japanese VPN, Japanese vicinity, etc, etc. So I watched Danny Mata's reaction videos because Book of Murder is so hard to get. I'm counting that. It's a Sherlock Holmes story of a whodunit party. I enjoyed Sebastian. He's all over the place. Sebastian, very petty as well. I also found how the movie mentioned is so much later in the series that it kind of annoyed me. Like, why is it not on like Crunchyroll or any other sites that was available to watch in the US or in the Americas or anything in the West? But overall, it was a fun and interesting way to get the Book of Circus connected to the Book of the Atlantic. So, the Book of Atlantic 2017. It's a total runtime of 1 hour and 41 minutes, and I watched it all on January 2nd. I was so happy. My notes is that I was so happy that I found the literacy and movie references. I had to take a stop because I just remembered how it is connected to Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Titanic. You know, it's a book, the Atlantic, Titanic. You gotta put a Titanic reference in there. But also how we see Ciel and Sebastian's backstory. But then also we get to see a lot more stronger female characters, or at least a lot more complexity to Lizzie's character. Lizzie, who's also Ciel's fiance, you know, the blondie with the twin girls. Everyone's like, oh, hate her. And then when she comes out in this movie, all of a sudden, like, ooh, she has a little bit more of a side to her. She fights. She's one of the best fencers, I believe, a fencing prodigy. And it was also just fantastic of seeing Lizzie fighting. She's absolutely gorgeous, stunning. She knows the moves, and she's not afraid of using them. And I also love the paper doll and mixed media aesthetic when we revealed the villain, who was Undertaker, and how he explains his backstory of why he did what he did. So season 4 is the public school arc, 2024. So this is a lot recent, so this was a lot of fun. So it's 11 episode. I saw this on January 3rd, and I finished it on January 5th. So my favorite episodes, I was usually doing only one episodes, but this was hard, so I had to do two. His Butler Locking Up, which is episode 4, and His Butler Taking Off, which is episode 11. I now have a slight more understanding of the British school system. Like prefects and houses and dormitories, all that. I found how CL struggling and interacts with the world with those his age. It's kind of fun, and also just the fact that, like, oh, you're acting like a child, and the people, like, the other students are like, yeah, because I am, or yeah, because I gotta lead by example, yada yada. And just the fact that he didn't really know what, like, a typical day-to-day of a regular person was kind of funny. And I also enjoyed the reveal later of the mystery that was very paranormal but also fantastical. It was kind of nice to see CL having a regular school life, even though his life is not regular at all. In season 4, which is the latest season, the Emerald Witch arc 2025. So this is the most one that's been most relevant, in the sense that, like, this is what Crunchyroll is promoting. Also, I need to start off by saying absolutely gorgeous. This one is a 13 episode season, and I finished it all within a day because it was that gorgeous. So my favorite episodes are His Butler Furious, which is episode 8, and His Butler Despairing, episode 6. It was kind of hard. I put episode 8, His Butler Furious, a little bit more than episode 6. I'll talk about it a little bit later. So this is going to be a little bit more of a spoiler territory, but you watch this, I put it in the title, you're probably gonna hear it. This season was full of twists and turns. Sullivan, the Emerald Witch, was adorable and terrifyingly smart. It was such a complex backstory, and the whole arc was insane, as it was a prelude to World War I. It was so interesting to see CO's trauma played off in this, as, like, he's going comatose because of his PTSD, essentially. I will admit, the German in the dub and sub was interesting to hear. So, on the page on the right, I wrote a little bit of a summary, which is just taken off of Crunchyroll, and I added a little more stuff to myself. But I wanted to talk about my thoughts on my favorite season, which is currently the Emerald Witch art. It is so full of mystery, historical world building, and backstory, in the fact that it is trying to blend reality, magic, and science together. I found how the villains are all twisted in some way. It is so hard just to see this, be like, oh yeah, this is, like, super cool, but also realizing what they're representing, and it was like, oof, because it's pre-World War I Germany. It was also how it was a female-led villain, and they were all passionate one way or another. The reveal made all the details stand out more on the second watch regarding to science and magic. Sullivan is absolutely adorable. I love how she is truly that scary smart, with also how the witch aesthetic meets the scientific aesthetic and the medieval aesthetic. Also seeing CL's childhood and current PTSD and how it has truly impacted him. And seeing Sebastian and the rest of the staff being very concerned was kind of touching, seeing on CL how he was really leaning on Finney. But also CL and Sullivan's friendship, because these two are children being used by other people. It was sweet, but also knowing that CL is loyal to the queen at the end of the day. So that is basically it. Before I forget, I want to mention I'll link the artist down below. These stickers were part of a stamp rally that I did, and I do not want to mispronounce the artist's name. I met them so many times. They're iconic, and I will be buying these stickers again. Thank you so much, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what anime or what media I should watch. Thank you so much, and see you next time.